You got this.
Hello and welcome. Let me do this. Hello and welcome to Sacramento Creative Community. I can't even talk today. Sacramento Creative Economy Meeting. I'm going to allow a couple of seconds for everybody, all the participants, to hop on in and get comfy. We're going to start in just a bit. We do have a lot of stuff to share. So actually, yeah, I'll just give it one more minute. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. We have, let me see how many people I can share here. Hopefully you can see. We have a wonderful group of panelists that are going to talk about all kinds of opportunities, funding. So yeah, we're just going to get started right now. Okay, let's get started on this. So first of all, I would like to talk about etiquette here. Just be kind. We aren't really paid to do this. None of the panelists were paid to be here. Everybody is volunteering their time to share their knowledge, to share their opportunities. So please be kind. We might mess up. Respect other people's opinions. They may not share the same. We all come from different places and all have different ideas on how to solve problems. Assume positive intent. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And we're here to support each other. Big groups, small groups, independent creatives. We're here to support each other. And together we can do a lot of stuff just like we did last year and the year before. And hopefully this year is going to be even better. Okay. Webinar features. Just quickly and briefly, we have a Q&A here. Please use the Q&A to ask questions. That way we can make sure that we are answering them. If you ask your questions in the chat, a lot of times it can get lost. We use the chat to share links with you. So if we're talking about, I think somebody's, oh, there we go. We use the chat to share links for the things that we're talking about. So one panelist can be talking, another panelist will share the links that that person is talking about. So try to stay there. This will be, oh, and I should start recording, right? Let me see here. That would
I think it is recording.
What's that? It is recording? Oh, it is, good. Sorry. So this is going to be recorded and archived. We do that all the time. And we do have one poll that we're going to ask. So again, please use the Q&A for your questions, and that way we can try and get to them all. I am going to do a NISENAN acknowledgement. We are on stolen land of the NISENAN tribe, who lived in Northern California between Sacramento River to the west and the Sierra Mountains to the east. The 1849 gold rush led to the appropriation of their land, decimation of their resources, disease, violence, and mass murder. The influx of migrants created by the gold rush and their excessive use of the land caused a strain on the environment. This prompted a drought, and starvation took over. The NISENAN population dropped from approximately 9,000 to 2,500 people. By 1995, a fraction of the surviving NISENAN were left. 147 NISENAN currently reside in Nevada City, California. The tribe is not recognized by government, which prevents them from receiving federal protection and financial aid. So if you want to learn more and do something about it, you can. You can visit chirpca.org. So that's CHIRPCA.org. So thank you, and thank you, the NISENAN tribe. Moving on, so we have a wonderful lineup here today. So after, I'm going to talk a bit about the Atrium programs that we're launching, which is the TV series, our shop program, and our new location. Sarah is going to talk about our TV series and what's happening with that. Megan is going to be talking about the direction, our creative economy, what we're doing, what's planned. Michelle is going to be talking about the new organization, our new advocacy organization called Sarah, which is dope. It's a new organization that formed last year to help us advocate better. We did a lot last year and the year before, but I think having an organization that is represented by many organizations and not just one, like it was the Atrium a lot last year and the year before, I think is going to be a lot more efficient and better and and it's a wider kind of reach. Anyway, Tara from Californians for the Arts, she's actually the grants manager, is going to help us about the California grants that are available right now, and lead us through that. Maya is awesome and is going to be talking about the California Arts Council Individual Artist Fellowships. So these are grants, I think 5,000, 10,000, I think it's 25 or 50,000 for artists, independent artists. And from what I understand, it's the first time they're doing something of this nature in like 18 years. Cheryl is going to be talking about a call for artists at the MAC in Rancho Cordova. Cody's going to talk about Creative Con, and Donald's going to talk to us about the call for mural artists here in Sacramento. So mural artists are going to be paid, plus assistant artists and stuff like that. It's a whole cool project. And Barbara's going to be talking about a call for artists for the Crocker, about an activist project. So I haven't really heard much about that, so I'm excited to hear about that. And I think Teresa is here to talk about the Natomas Call for Artists, and that is the Arts and Garden Center up in Natomas. And with that, we'll go to Q&A, and that's about it. Before I get into stuff about the Atrium, really important, rent assistance is ending tomorrow. So if you are living in a rent space or something, please apply. So you can go here. If somebody here, any of the panelists want to share that, it is the shra.org/SERA. If somebody wants to share that in the chat, that would be great. This, and I will share it later in the chat as well, if somebody can't. There are certain criteria here, but like if you have at least one household member that's qualified for unemployment or experience a reduction in household income, financial hardship, or you can demonstrate instability and at risk of being unhoused, you can apply for this. It ends tomorrow, so please get on this if you can. Okay, so with that, I'm going to share about us at the Atrium. So at the Atrium, we've moved to a new location. We're now currently in Old Sacramento, and we have a bunch of programs. Thanks to the city of Sacramento, who are awesome and have been awesome this, I don't know, like, we got a grant to create Sacramento.shop, which is an online marketplace for local creatives. And it looks like this. It is an online marketplace where you can buy. We do same-day delivery in Sacramento, plastic-free shipping nationwide, and free pickup from our store. We are going to start onboarding creatives that were not part of the grant. We're going to be onboarding those creatives that were waitlisted, and we're working through that. The reason it took us a little bit of time, hold on, is because we were building this dashboard. Each artist that is onboarded onto our marketplace actually has a dashboard. They can see the sales, their commissions, everything that's going on. If something is out of stock, they get their whole vision of it. Also, you get, when you sign up, you get a virtual storefront. This virtual storefront has here a place for video. You can place a YouTube video, or what we recommend is putting in here a Twitch, so that way you can stream when you're live in your studio. So anybody that goes to your virtual store can see you, kind of like stepping into your studio. So that's about it, and we're going to kind of get into that. If you are interested in signing up for that, there are two ways that you can do it. You can scroll all the way down to the bottom here of Sacramento.shop, or you can go to the Atrium and you can go to programs, and in Sacramento.shop here, there'll be a link to sign up. Okay, the next thing that we have is our Upcycle Pop Market. Now that we're in Old Sacramento, we're bringing back our Upcycle Pop. If you haven't heard of Upcycle Pop, it's our market for upcycled and repurposed items. It used to be like this big hoopla that we would do with lots of vendors and events and a gallery and performances on the hour. We're bringing it back in a very, very small version, and we're doing it outdoors, and we're starting to do it every week. So every week we're starting an art market, an eco art market in Old Sacramento. The goal is consistency. if we continue to do this every week, we'll be able to grow, and people will start recognizing that there is art in Old Sacramento and that they should start coming to Old Sacramento to come and see. And my secret agenda is I want to make Old Sacramento a little bit more sustainable, because holy F, it is so not. We've got so much styrofoam and so much work to do here. So if you are interested, you can sign up here. There's a vendor sign up right here. To sign up, you must be an approved Atrium artist. And what that means is that you go to join and you join to get on our artist list. Then we will send you the password and links to all these secret web pages on our website that will give you access to sign up. And then lastly, but not least, and what I'm really, really excited to launch is our TV series. We are producing a TV series called Citizens of Planet Earth. And this TV series, we are calling for submissions of creatives that have something to share, something educational, creative, that will make better citizens of planet Earth. If it is how to make chalk paint out of leftover chalk, if it is how to upcycle something, if it is, oh, I hear somebody here. Hold on one second. There we go, gotcha. If it is how to do pretty much anything, if it's a history lesson, a sock puppet, if it's get creative with it, it can be in multiple languages. It can be how to make a very unique dish. We want it colorful, we want it diverse. We want it short form though. So pretty much submit like something that is, 1 to 2 minutes, because people's attention span is short. We will be putting a QR code next to each submission, whoever's approved. So it will be kind of a way to promote the artists themselves. And we're paying $2 per second of approved content. So what that means is if your content is approved, and I'll go through that, you'll be paid $2 per second of the content that was approved to get into the show. So if you had 5 minutes of approved content, you would get $600. We are licensing the content and not purchasing the content. The reason we're doing that is because we want to sell the program again. So right now it's scheduled to be on KVIE, Metro 14, and Access Sacramento. And we're offering it to nonprofits here in Sacramento to use for educational purposes. We hope that we will be able, if it's good, and I don't know what I'm going to get, so surprise me, Sacramento. I hope that I think, and I believe in Sacramento, and I think it's going to be dope as all hell, and that we will be able to sell it again. And if we can sell it again, we'll be able to pay the creatives again because we're licensing the content. So that's pretty much it. It's Citizens of Planet Earth. Again, how can you be a kind, creative, and sustainable person, moving forward, which is the mission of the Atrium. That's the kind of future we want to build. So here, because I know creatives don't like to read, I'm one of them, we created 2 videos here, how to apply and why. They're not the best, they're okay, they're kind of boring, but it's important. The why is like why we did this and how this, and Sarah's going to talk about it because Sarah is the rock star that really pushed this forward and made this TV series all possible. Sarah and Eric Guerra and Andrew Kehoe from the mayor's office really were the ones that made this happen. So if you look here, there is what this is, what kind of video to submit, how it's paid. And there's a video here that we talk about with Capital Film Alliance, and that we go into detail. I go into detail with Lori. And here at the bottom, there's kind of how we assess it. And all the way down at the bottom is begin my submission, with the hope and desire that you read all the stuff that's on the website. The idea that we have so much there is because I really want you guys to know what we're looking for, so you don't waste your time submitting content. You can submit as much content as you want. We will only be able to approve 5 minutes per creative because we want to spread the funding that we got to as many creatives as possible. This was created as a way to pay creatives during COVID, during isolation. And it was a way that we could come up to pay creatives that would not only just giving them something, but we're actually, the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Commission is getting something back for it as well. So with that, I'm going to offer this over to Sarah, who's been just a legend. And Sarah, I'm going to stop sharing if that's okay.
That works. Awesome. I do want to acknowledge Councilmember Eric Guerra is on right now.
Oh,
I see him chatting. Hi, Eric. Hi, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and just say a few words, not just on my behalf, but on Eric's as well. We're super excited. Shira's already explained a bunch of it, but we're super excited to announce with Atrium and CM Guerra here this evening that this Sacramento Create TV series is launched and is now open for submissions. We're excited about it. It's providing local artists throughout the greater Sacramento region with an outlet for their creativity while also providing much needed funds for creatives that have been impacted by the pandemic. And we're excited that it's going to offer unique out of the box educational content for students and families still engaged with distance learning, and also distance learning or not could use the content. The Sacramento Cable TV Commission, I sit on it on Councilmember Eric Guerra's behalf as his appointee. They're a joint powers authority representing Sacramento County, the cities of Citrus Heights, Elk Grove, Folsom, Galt, Rancho Cordova, and Sacramento. And the commission approved funds earlier last year for this Sacramento Create project, which will make a big impact in the communities, not just in Sacramento, but also all the communities that I just mentioned that the commission represents, which was a big emphasis for Councilmember Guerra and I, is that we wanted it to be able to reach outside, not just the city of Sacramento, but throughout the county of Sacramento. I also was just very honored to work with the mayor's office and Councilmember Hansen's, former Councilmember Hansen's office, which you've heard Andrew Kehoe, and then Matt Reed as well, alternates that sit on the commission with me. And just for background, Shira already provided all the background on the project. She already showed the website, so I don't have to talk about that, but it's really exciting that the content's going to air on KVIE and Metro 14, as well as our public access channel on Access Sacramento. And we're also excited that it could potentially offer additional funding beyond what the commission provided if other cable stations and outlets pick up the content as well, which Shira could probably elaborate on, but we're super excited about it. And she showed you the website, atrium916.com/TV. So thanks, Shira, for having us, and Councilmember Guerra. I don't know if he's able to say anything on here. I think he's a participant, but if he can, he's on. So.
Let me see if I can do that. You keep talking and I'll try and get him on.
Eric says he doesn't need to say anything. So
okay, then.
It was definitely a process. I think I just want to share real quick that I think the Cable Commission in the history of its existence has not had as lively of a discussion as the one we had to get this funding passed. But we had a ton of support, and I'm just, again, super happy to be able to contribute to the creative economy. It's so important throughout our region. So thanks, Shira.
Thank you, Sarah, so much. Like, I really want to say how amazing Sarah and the whole team were. It was just, wow, like how we fought through, and Sarah was like, this is what we need to do. We've got to do this. And she was like, we're getting it done. So Go team Eric Guerra, thank you so much. It was just phenomenal. And with that, I'd like to introduce Megan, who is our brand new creative economy. I love Sarah. Yay. I want to introduce Megan, who's our new creative economy manager, and she is going to tell us how she's going to rock Sacramento City and make our creative economy just thrive. And from the couple of meetings that I've had with Megan, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see what she's going to unleash and do. So take it away, Megan.
No pressure. No pressure. Well, thanks for having me. It's great. I wish I could see all of you in person. I am making my way around Sacramento. It's 6 months, everyone. It's 6 months, and it's been cool. I've been spending a lot of time talking to people, honestly, getting to know the inside of the city and the workings and who the players are and what their priorities are, and talking to council members and understanding what their priorities are, so that I can make the connections between the work that was laid out in the Creative Edge plan and your priorities there, and all of those other priorities that other folks have. So I spent all of that time, got some really good information, and then really worked with our team in the division to say, where is it that we think we can make the biggest impact, really starting to define our role. We have a lot of programs and projects that have developed and established, have been established over time. But when we think about 71 tactics that get laid out in the Creative Edge plan and 6 really audacious goals that we want to move forward, how can we really move the needle on that? Not just carry out activities, but fundamentally change lives and create better experiences for everybody in the creative sector in Sacramento, but everybody that is beyond all of you. So we identified 5 roles. I'm going to do it. I'm going to share it simply. I did a presentation on this for the Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy Commission. They are behind it, and it's forming the basis for what we're doing. If you are so inclined, feel free to visit the February 1st presentation that I did, because there's a little bit more that I can go into there. But essentially, it sits in five key areas where our division is going to work moving forward. One is information, and the idea is helping people understand the impact and make decisions, smart decisions regarding the creative economy, of course, which you all sit in. Whether that means finding opportunities to engage, finding programs and activities to engage in, or frankly, making decisions about policy and other things that affect you. So information is a key piece of the puzzle. And on that point, I will say, the investments that we made significant investments through CARES dollars, and we're trying to aggregate that information so that we can help people understand the important impact that those investments have made, and ultimately then allow folks that are so inclined and interested in advocating on behalf of the sector to be able to position the folks with Sarah and others to be able to do a job to advocate on your behalf. So information is a key piece of the puzzle. Workforce development, which is 2 things. One, really growing the professional capacity of the field, but also making sure that we're identifying opportunities and occupational opportunities in the creative sector to grow, creating more opportunities there. So excited about that. Investment is something that we have long done. You know us for grants. We will continue to do that work, hopefully identify some more creative public financing models that can help support the work that you're doing, but also look at infrastructure. And when it comes to infrastructure, I'm thinking about space. I've been in many, many conversations. Housing and space is a big issue. Affordable housing and space for creatives is a big issue in Sacramento. And it is probably the top priority for me on the creative side of things. If you can't live here affordably, we can't have a creatively vital city, period, end of story. So I'm working on that, having lots of conversations with folks that are doing corridor development. There's a good amount of corridor development happening along Del Paso, and I think some opportunities for us to explore what that could look like. And also on Stockton Boulevard, Councilmember Gatta, I'm listening. There's plenty of opportunity there, but I do think we need to get a handle on where creatives are living and what are those natural creative districts that maybe aren't quite so visible, but you're all there, and sharing that and protecting those districts with good policy. I'll share with you, as I've shared with others, that I am concerned about artists creating value that others capture because they have the financial capacity and wherewithal to do that, and that is something that we need to do something about. So good partners inside the city that are interested in community wealth building models, exploring really creative things like neighborhood investment trusts and other things that we might be able to tap into to allow creatives both to contribute the important things that they're doing, but also capture value from that alongside their neighbors. So those are things that we're thinking about on that front. The policy bit, law, legislation, and policy, I've definitely had conversations with folks about some of the sticky issues that they've had working with the city, and we're going to try to figure that out and help streamline some of the information processes and navigate that so that we can hopefully create a better climate for you to be able to do the work that you're doing. And then convening and coordination, really working with others. So we're talking with the county, we're talking with Valley Vision, we're talking with Greater Sacramento Economic Council. We're hearing what they're saying and really connecting the creative economy to the work that they're doing. So I'm really excited about what lies ahead. I've got a big, aggressive set of activities that I want us to try to move forward. And I'm also super sensitive, though, that this work takes time. So, we just keep moving forward a little bit at a time. Just a couple other things that I will share that I'm thinking about. One of them is media coverage. And this is a big issue, and media coverage is really important in terms of helping to shape the narrative about the creative economy and creatives and providing critique and all of that. It's something that I've been having some conversations with some folks about who are interested. They're interested in exploring some new models, and we're going to try to see what we can do about that. And then just to share on the music side, live music in the city is important and is struggling along with others around the country, performing arts organizations. And so what will be announced tomorrow, actually, we're going to be a part of a national cohort. I started this work in Cleveland as a part of that cohort. And then when I moved, I stayed connected to it and said, can we do it here in Sac too? It's with the Music Policy Forum, and it's called Reopen Every Venue Safely. And what we're going to try to do is convene key music stakeholders with us along the city, key partners in the city, along with hopefully the county, to get a sense and help people navigate what this reopening could look like. So there's an opportunity, I think, for us to use that vehicle both to talk about how do we resolve and respond to some of these pandemic-related times right now, but also use it as an opportunity to unpack whatever those issues are that are affecting our live music scene from being able to be the best that it can be. And there are some, and I've heard stories, and we can have better policy. So lots to report on that front. It's coming. There's more. I see conversations regarding spoken word in the chat, and I'm listening. I hear you. Lots of opportunity, and I'm really excited about what's ahead. So that's it, Shira. Just nothing big.
No, nothing big, nothing at all. But I just want to say, one, thank you. We are so appreciative that you are here and have a vision and have the ovaries to stand up, because I think this position requires some really good ovaries. So thank you so much. I did want to say, if you guys have some ideas that you think Megan should know about, please add them in the chat. We're going to share the chat. The chat is going to be live. So if you have, hey, I think you should be looking at this, I think you should consider this, this is your moment to kind of connect with Megan, and so she can jot those down and know about them. Anyways, so moving on, I'd like to talk about, now it's coming up on budget season. And what does that mean, budget season? This is around about the time where people in office start deciding where they want to spend money for the next year. And really, money normally goes to the loudest voice, unfortunately. So last year, 2019 was, I think, the first time we kind of really got together and we're like, hell no, we're not going to accept zero budget. And we were able to get together. 2020, we all came together again, and we were able to secure, close to 15 million. I think it was just a little under $15 million. And that was because we came together, and it was really important. The Atrium was a big push on that. But what I'm really excited about is that in 2020, a new organization has developed, and this organization name is Sarah. And Sarah is actually a compilation of a bunch of organizations, large and small, and individual artists. It's kind of like all of us put together. And we're going to have a stronger voice. So Sarah's going to be kicking off a meeting April 1st. I am a board member of this organization, and there are many board members, and it's expanding. And I think this is going to be great for our region, because we really need some good advocacy. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Michelle, who is also a board member on Sarah, to talk about this meeting that's happening April 1st, because the city is going to be getting some money with this new $1.9 trillion that's coming in. There's going to be some money coming in. And if we don't stand up together and say, hey, the artists need it, we're not going to get anything. So Sarah's going to help lead us and figure out what's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Shira. I just, I'm also very excited about Sacramento Alliance for Regional Arts, because, I think something that I've learned since being involved in Sarah is that advocacy is time consuming. And so what this region really needed was one organization that was dedicated solely to promoting and supporting the arts in the sector in this region, the arts sector in the region. And so really that is the mission of Sarah, to do that. Where we've been, you might have come across some of our efforts without knowing it was Sarah. One of the most recent one was the visual and performing arts with the Sacramento City Unified School District. That budget was set to be cut. It was on the chopping block, and we kind of sent a roving form around social media. And with that, they took that off the list of cuts. And it was all because of the supporters that gave their voice to filling out that form and personalizing a message. So we're learning because we are using Arts for LA, which is an amazing organization, as a model. We're really starting to make headway in coming up with advocacy toolkits and coming up with ways that we can have a unified voice in what we're asking for, which of course, we know that stimulus money is coming. And it's going to be important for all of us to be able to articulate how the arts are going to be a part of the creative economic recovery, how we are a part in healing the community with all of the mental health issues that have happened because of COVID. And also a part of how are the students coming back to school. A big part of what we do is promoting arts education as well. And our ability to collaborate with all these organizations, as Shira said, that have been doing arts advocacy, like the Atrium, like Friends of Sacramento Arts. So another program that we were able to do through the CARES Act funding was a capacity building sustainability program for nonprofits, and for arts, of course, arts nonprofits. And that was also, we saw that was hugely successful, and we needed to be doing more of that, providing workshops and educational opportunities for not only arts nonprofits, but also for-profits, because we realize that they share in our collective voice for the arts.
Yes.
The one, how we're going to go about doing this, the amount that we're going to be advocating for, we'll be discussing all of that at the April 1st meeting. I'm going to put it in the chat, how you can register for that meeting. So please come to that meeting. Also sign up to be a member of Sarah. There's no cost right now. We're just wanting to coalesce, grab, all the artists, all the arts organizations and for-profit arts businesses in the region, Sacramento and beyond. So the one thing I did want to say is we are going to lead with thank you. We know, and we're meeting with council members, we know that no other city in the country allocated as many of its CARES Act funds to the arts sector as the city of Sacramento. And this is huge, and this warrants thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is what it did for us. So your stories of impact are so important. If you received CARES Act funding and you got a survey or anything from the City of Sacramento, Office of City of Sacramento, Melissa, please fill those out, share your stories of impact, because that is what inspires others to give money, to give those funds to the sector. So that is what we're going to lead with. Thank you. And this is how we can help with the economic recovery, how we're going to bring people back downtown and get people re-engaged in the city of Sacramento. And so just very excited to have everybody come to that April 1st meeting and to join Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. I see a few questions coming in, and we're going to address it. There's one here that's Roderick Malloy is asking, have all Sarah board members taken implicit bias tests? What intersectional programs are you planning? We haven't, this is like a brand new organization. Like we barely put together like the board stuff, it's like we're hitting the ground running. So that's a great note. And I think we should take that and we'll bring that to the next board meeting, that this is something that we should do. So thank you for that note.
Yes.
Teresa was asking, can we take another look? Oh, so there are a couple of other questions, but I will kind of address those later. Let's get to the meat of it because we have a lot to cover. There are grants. Money. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Tara, Tara is with the Californians for the Arts, and she is the grants manager. And while she starts talking, I'm going to prep her slides. Take it away, Tara.
Thank you. So first, I just want to tell you a little bit about Californians for the Arts. Californians for the Arts is a small nonprofit, but we have a pretty mighty staff. We're serving about 15,000 subscribers and representing thousands of artists and arts and cultural organizations across the state. We take on opportunities and challenges that single artists and single organizations can't do alone. We're an ongoing part of the public dialogue that arts are a critical component of our lives and our communities. And I can tell from the conversation I'm hearing today that you guys are all on board with that. We advocate for arts and policies that benefit all Californians, and our work impacts every community across the state. And on that advocacy note that I heard mentioned earlier, April is celebrating Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. And it's an awesome time to reach out to your legislators and talk about what you've been doing during the pandemic, thank them for what they've given you, and why arts is so important in the community. So I wanted to bring that up. And then the next thing I want to bring up about advocacy is that I'm going to talk a little bit about a grant that we have available right now through the California relief grants through the business part of the state. And art advocacy is never the work of just one person or one organization. It is a lot of work, as I heard said earlier. Effective advocacy is collective and it's consistent. And our advocacy efforts, along with California Association Museums and California nonprofits, have allocated $50 million designated in SB 87, signed by Governor Newsom in February for arts, cultures, nonprofit institutions. This grant opened on Tuesday the 16th and closes on the 23rd. It's the only sector, arts and culture was the only sector identified for its own round of funding. This is a result of our collective efforts and educating informing the legislature of the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on our arts and culture industries. We lobbied to have this $50 million, and it is the only round of the 6 rounds of these grants that has no revenue cap, because we know that COVID-19 impacts all of us, not just the small guys, but everybody. So if you want to go to the next slide, I'll talk to that, Shira.
Yup.
So this grant is specifically, at this point, keep going, is specifically for 501c3 organizations. You can keep going, sure.
Okay.
One more.
This one?
One more.
One more.
Here we go. And this tells us a little bit about it. Oh, go back. You skipped too fast.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. This tells us a little bit about the rounds of grants. So we've already gone, the California relief grants have already gone through round 3. Some of you might have applied in rounds 1, 2, or 3 as small businesses. If you did that, you will be automatically waitlisted for round 5. If you have a nonprofit 501c3, I would encourage you to apply now in round 4. Even if you applied already, you can reapply to this round. If you have any questions about this, my information is going to be at the end of the slides. If you have not applied yet and you are not a nonprofit and you have a business, you can apply in round 5, which will begin on March 25th. So the round 4.
There? Can I just interrupt?
Mm-hmm.
If you are a business, that means if you're a sole proprietor, like an independent contractor.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you. Just for all those artists out there, your business.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're filing taxes as a business, you're a business. So in round 4, which we are currently in, that closes on Tuesday, the 23rd. So anybody that has an arts and culture nonprofit, you have until Tuesday, end of business, to file this grant. Anyone else that is not a nonprofit, round 5 opens on the 25th, closes on the 31st. So any questions, again, you can ask me. Go forward, please. Sure.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Nope.
Okay, so this just is telling us a little bit more about how are they defining arts and cultures nonprofit institution. As I mentioned, you have to be a 501c3. You must have been in business by June 1 of 2019. You must be active, and you have to show impact. So I know a lot of nonprofits have received PPP funding, IEDL funding, those kind of things. Those don't count towards showing impact, just your revenue or your income, your total income. You want to go forward one, Shira?
Sure.
Thank you. Keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, keep going. It's okay. All right. So the things that go back. The things that
Okay.
the grant will
There must be a
cover are
delay. Okay.
yeah, the things that the grants will cover are payroll costs, healthcare benefits, insurance premiums, rent, utilities. Because I heard somebody say that the rent help is ending, so there's rent or utilities, and the time period it'll cost it is anything from March 2020 to date, like onward. Any kind of any one of these expenses that is related to COVID can be cost. The only reporting structure you need right now is you need to keep copies of your receipts. That's it. The application is a little unusual. So we've got a webinar tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. that you can find on the Californian for the arts.org website that you might want to attend if you're interested in applying for this grant. I'm going to go forward one.
Sure.
And then this just tells you if you are a nonprofit, what you're eligible for. It's based on your gross revenue. So you can see here, if your gross revenue is up to 100,000, you're eligible for 5,000. And if your revenue is more than $1 million, you can be eligible for up to $25,000. The only information they're going to require is they're going to want to see your Q2 and Q3 total income for 2019 and 2020. They just want to see a demonstrated impact from COVID. That's all. Next. And then here's the information on how to contact me. I'm on the right-hand side. You can contact me directly. I'm available Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And on if you want to call Lendistry directly, that's their information. These are the subcontracted partner that is managing this for the state of California. So that's what I wanted to let you guys know. I think there's one of those two opportunities should be helpful for you guys. The CARES Act grant does not impact your income number here. I saw somebody pop that in the chat. It's actually any COVID emergency relief grants you've received do not impact your ability to apply for this grant, and you actually can back that out of your total income when you're showing your Q2 and your Q3 results.
So just to clarify, so if you're an independent creative and you file your taxes, meaning you get a Schedule C or a 1040, then you can apply for this in round 5. And when Tara was talking about if you were in round 1 and you can apply again, it just means if you didn't get it. So if you applied for round 1 and round 2, and you didn't get it, they automatically transfer you over, or do they not? Tara, can you talk about that?
They do. If you applied in round 1 or round 2, first of all, really important thing to know is that if you applied in round 1 and 2, you should have heard from Lendistry on Monday the 15th. If you did not hear from Lendistry on Monday the 15th, you should call them and find out what's the status of your loan. I wasn't around for round 1, but my understanding is that there was a lot of confusion and a lot of people accidentally applied multiple times, and that caused a bit of a log jam in the system. So you want to make sure that your application, you have a live application that will roll into round 5.
I'm just going to say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I was just going to say that, which brings up another point, which is that if you already applied in rounds 1 through 3 and you decide you're a nonprofit and you decide to apply in round 4, you actually have to use a unique email address to avoid any of that. And again, the application, if you're used to filling out grant applications, this application is much more like a bank loan application. It's not like a typical nonprofit grant application. There's virtually no place to put any kind of context for anything.
And Tara, this is where they go, right, to apply?
I cannot, let me see if I can make that bigger so I can read it.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Not see it. No.
No, let me see if I can, I've got it right here and I'll type it in the chat for you guys.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer this over to Maya. Where am I right now? Maya.
Aren't you gonna I need you to run the slide, or not the slides, but the website.
Oh, okay. Well, let me.
Because I'm on my phone, so I can't do both things.
No problem whatsoever. Hold on one second. I'm going to share. And there we go. Can you see it? Is this what you wanted?
This is perfect. Is this the first? Is this the link to the actual grant description?
Yeah. So this is when you go to California Arts Council, and then you click on grants. And then you have here, it will tell you all the grants that are available. It says here
Right.
Currently offered. They don't always update it. Oh, something just kind of changed here, but let me kind of find it. Grants and applications. And then here where you're going to go is individual artist fellowships. So
Right.
These ones I think have already passed due. They're closed, as you can see. But this one is still taking, and Jumpstarts is about the educational impact by justice system. So we're going to go into this one. Does this help?
Cool. Yes, this is perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So this is secondhand information, but it's from one of the arts program specialists at the CAC that's administering this grant, Jason Jong. So this is the CAC Individual Artist Fellowship. This is the first time that the California Arts Council has tried to give funds to individual artists as opposed to nonprofits and other organizations since 2002. That budget year, the Arts Council's budget was cut by about 90% and has only been restored to something like that original budget in the last couple of years. So they've been looking at ways to increase the equitable distribution of state arts funding. And as a result, they've also developed a racial equity statement, and they have a decision-making framework that they use, that they apply to the evaluative process for grant review. So these are available at 3 levels. There's emerging artist fellows. Those are people who've been practicing between 2 to 4 years. I don't think that you have to be a full-time artist. I think there's an acknowledgement that no one is, well, very few people are able to be full-time artists in California these days. But you should have a body of work to point to for the application process. There will be 70 awards at the $5,000 level. There will be 50 awards at the $10,000 level, and that's for established artists. Those are folks who've been practicing between 4 and 10 years. And then the legacy artist fellows are folks who've been practicing for more than 10 years, and there will be 10 of those. So it's a total of about $1.3 million. And you can only submit for one of these tiers. They're going to fund each grant to the full amount. So don't ask for less than $5,000 if you're applying for the emerging fellowship. These are unrestricted funds, so you don't necessarily have to have a project that you've already identified in order to receive this funding. Let's see. The application period is open right now. You go to this website and to this page in order to apply. There's links if you scroll down a little bit, Shira. There's a there's a webinar, which I have not had the chance to watch yet, but it should be sort of an FAQ, sort of taking you through how to apply. The grant guidelines are available. The application instructions are on there. And actually the portal will take you through the process in a pretty straightforward way. I looked at it a little bit earlier today.
And to reach out to them.
Yeah, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the FAQ and so this is what Jason, who is doing the legacy fellowships, recommended. He said to definitely read the FAQ and watch the webinar. He said to then make sure that you schedule a consultation or email the staff for help once you have started the application process. And then he said that pay close attention to the grant guidelines, the criteria. There are 4. And he said that they will not be solely weighting the grants on artistic criteria, but that they will also want to pay attention to personal impact, community engagement, and social impact. So thinking about the relationships that you have in the community with other artists and organizations, what is the message you're trying to convey with the work that you're doing? And how will this affect you personally to receive this fellowship? And I would say, thinking about sort of describing that, it would be advancing your work and also sort of giving you the legitimacy to compete for other arts grants and fellowships as they come available. And now I'm going to look at some questions. And that's all I have to say. Do you have anything, Shira, to add?
No, I just think to reach out to them. I think it's really, really important that you reach out to them. They have here their phone number. They're offering a way for you to connect. Just call them and talk to them. It's great for them to get to know you and who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, I want to echo that, because I would just say, like, this is the first time that any individual artist in the state of California has been able to do this. So getting one-on-one time with these specialists is really invaluable sort of professional development for anybody.
Yeah, so I would reach out to them, introduce yourself, tell them what you're doing, and maybe don't do it before you've kind of tried to apply. That way you're really utilizing your one time, because you probably, utilizing 2 times is going to look bad. So make it count. So go through the whole process, read everything before you schedule and then do the whole thing.
And also don't wait till the last minute, because they're going to get buried.
Yeah, you're not going to get their attention if it's all the last minute. And this ends, if I'm not mistaken, April 1st. So that's coming up, guys. That's like, you've got 2 weeks, not even, maybe. Yeah, not even 2 weeks. So I do recommend getting on this. And this is really good. I think Maya just told me earlier that this is the first time they're doing this for individual artists, and the first time in 18 years. So it's been great that, suddenly, individual artists and independent artists are starting to get some grant funding and investment. So I think that's wonderful. Cool. Do you have anything else, Maya? Or we move on?
That is all I have for now. And I'll look at these questions and I will try to find out some of these answers.
Okay,
circle
cool.
back with folks. Yeah.
So I'm going to move into PayPal Paycheck Protection Program. I didn't find a specialist to talk about this, but I did apply. So this round of Paycheck Protection Program, you could apply as an independent artist. So if you guys don't know, yes, I run the Atrium, which is a nonprofit, but also before I run the nonprofit, I have a production company. It's called Unleash Productions, and I've been doing documentaries and commercials for organizations that give a damn. And so I applied because I had a lot of projects that got canceled for the year, and I got it. And so the Paycheck Protection Program, the first round was only okay if you had actual payroll. This time around, you could be an independent contractor and get Paycheck Protection Program. And what that is it's a forgiveness loan. So you receive the money if you use it for a certain amount of things, particularly, I think it's a 60% at least for payroll. And as an independent contractor, if you're proving that you're paying yourself, meaning you have a business account, and then, you know, you pay yourself to your personal account, then they consider that paying yourself. And so that worked as well. But I will say this, I tried to apply for my nonprofit, and our nonprofit is kind of a new nonprofit, and we ran into a bunch of issues that, you know, we didn't have like years of financials. And it's been a lot harder. We're with Bank of America, and they just recently closed the new applications, but there are some other banks that are still open. So the best way, and I did a video on this on Instagram, but if you are working with your bank, I recommend contacting your bank, find the person that you're in relationship with your bank, and seeing what they have, if it's open or available. Otherwise, you can go to sba.gov and they will try and get you matched with a lender and find it. You've got first draw PPP loans, second draw, that means you got a loan on the first round and now you're going for second round and asking for forgiveness. So all that information is here, and I'm going to share this link right now into the chat. There you go. So what I have heard, and again, this is on the grapevine, and is that the 1.9 trillion that just got passed, that they're probably going to do another round of PPP, which is what they're calling it. So keep an eye out. I'm going to stay abreast on it. But the best thing I can say is reach out to your banks and see if you apply. Definitely if you're paying payroll and you've got like your whole forms of your payroll to do that. And if not, you're independent contractor, give it a shot. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to Cheryl, and I'm going to stop my sharing right now and move this over here so I can see you guys. Cheryl. First, I want to say thank you, Tara, because I didn't say that, and that's really rude of me. Thank you, Tara, for everything. Cheryl is with the Rancho Cordova. She's with the city of Rancho Cordova with the MAC. You want to take it away, Cheryl?
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you very much for inviting me. I feel very honored to be with such an extensive and amazing panel. So I'm not actually with the city.
Oh,
I'm with, but we like to say that we're the city's favorite nonprofit.
okay.
So I work for the Cordova Community Council, and I was hired in 2018 to run the MAC. I know I've seen a couple questions from a few people out there that I know. So we are going into our 4th year here at the MAC, and the MAC stands for Mills Station Art and Culture Center. We are located at Folsom and Mather Field, and you can jump on light rail and be right at our back door. And I'm currently here at the gallery at one of our shows that is running its last week. I feel very fortunate that I've been able to keep the gallery open since June of last year. And things are, you know, starting to open back up, but we have a lot of opportunities. So the MAC is run by a grant from the city of Rancho Cordova, and it is a community enhancement grant. But we have nonprofits. So if, for example, we have a nonprofit and all volunteer symphony here in Rancho Cordova, Symphony de Oro. We have a concert band that's a nonprofit, and we have our visual arts group, which is also a 501c3 nonprofit, the Rancho Cordova Arts. And we are so we're new to the nonprofit in that Rancho Cordova Arts, which encompasses our visual artists. We've been a nonprofit now for 3 years, and it all started as art at City Hall. And we just wanted to bring art into Rancho Cordova, show off some of our local artists, give them an opportunity and a platform to show their stuff. Now that the MAC is open, that is just I'll call it the precipice, because there are so many amazing things to come, including the 10 acres across the street from the MAC, which is going to be the Mills Crossing. It's going to be called the Mills Crossing Civic Center. At least that's its name and iteration this month. And that is likely to have a lot of art components, possibly black box theater. It might have some studio or maker space. It could have another gallery. So we're pretty excited about that. We have a really amazing city council here in Rancho Cordova. Our dues and fees to become a member of Rancho Cordova Arts is much cheaper than it is to apply to a single show at the MAC. So in order to apply for an open call that I have at the MAC, for example, what's the last one I had? The Third Dimension, which was our first all sculpture show. And it was so well received. The public absolutely loved it. So that would have cost you $30 for the single show to put in 3 items. You can join Rancho Cordova Arts for $25 a year. You can then put all of the open calls you're already in. You don't ever have to pay again until the next year. So in this case, membership really does have its privilege. So we have several calls. Oftentimes, as I'm curating a show, there might be a combination show where I might have a traveling exhibit with an open call. We have our members show, which is coming up in June. This is our 3rd annual. If you join as a member, then you can submit up to 3 items and 1 is guaranteed to get in. So that is a great opportunity to be seen. It's a great opportunity to get some stuff out there. I know that I've talked to Shira and I do a little upcycle myself.
I'm doing a little dance here for the upcycling stuff.
So I do a little wood sculpture that's upcycled. But there are other things. This last year was supposed to be our first. We used to have a program called Brushes and Beats we do once a year at a brewery here in town. And it was very fun, but that brewery would go out of business. I'd have to cancel for the year and then a new brewery would come in, you'd have it for 1 year, they'd go out of business. And so the cycle continues. And I said, to heck with that. So we are going to, hopefully this will be our first annual or inaugural Brushes and Beats, which is going to partner with Soil-Born Farms. So we're going to have art and music on the farm, and that is in October. And the only way you can join that is if you are a Rancho Cordova Arts member. That is not open to the public. You can come and enjoy the farm and enjoy the music, but you have to be a member. Another show that we have, so I do open up the MAC for open studios. And as everybody knows, last year we did a virtual, so we weren't open. This year, I'm very optimistic that we will be showing art live.
I'm hearing somebody here, so I'm just going to try and mute them.
That might be something that's coming from my upstairs.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem with, this time frame. I'm actually open. There's just no guests in the gallery right now. So another thing we have is our Winter Art Fest, and our Winter Art Fest is kind of like each artist gets a certain amount of space, wall space, floor space, and they get to sell their art. And that's starts on Black Friday and then goes for the next 2 weekends. And that's another great opportunity to sell and be a part. So we have a lot of really great stuff happening here in Rancho Cordova. So I invite you to go to ranchocordovaarts.org, and I can put that in the chat. And that is our local arts group. Join for $25 a year. We're a great organization. Currently might have a seat, a couple seats coming open on our board. Yeah, Says
Thank
we
you.
like to have fun.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for sharing. So guys, like if you want to get in the art, and they do get a lot of press and a lot of people kind of going through and seeing their art. So totally worth it to be part of that. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm gonna
You're very
move on.
welcome.
Thank you. Cody, so we have Creative Con happening. Some of you may have seen this on Instagram and Facebook. Creative Con, yay! Okay, do you want to let us know what's going on? And if you can be, because we're kind of like running short on time, so I do apologize.
Yeah, for sure, I will. Creative Con is a 2-day virtual convention that's happening April 10th and 11th. It's put on by Artists of Sacramento and a bunch of other community members, organizations, things like that. Burley Beverages, the Sac Foods Co-op, Atrium is helping us out. Music Landry is helping us out. A bunch of usual suspects for us, just kind of putting on events with our friends. We are having the event is, like I said, it's 2 days, it's virtual, but there is some interactive elements to it. When we, this past fall, put on Shelter Fest with Burley Beverages to try to we raised over $20,000 for local music venues that were kind of hit this past year. And I think one of the things that drove that and made it really fun and interesting was that it was a virtual event, but it had some in-person kind of activities. So we did food and things like that. So we're kind of trying to recreate that with Creative Con, just bring together the creative community to share and cross-pollinate, educate one another. There's going to be speakers, classes, performances, all that kind of stuff. Let me look at all of my notes and stuff like that here. But then we're also wanting to, like I said, have that kind of in-person synchronous type stuff happening. So we're going to be doing food and merch pre-orders. We're going to be doing some of the event is pre-recorded, some of it's live. There's also going to be a drive-in in-person event that's limited to folks who feel comfortable getting out, getting in their cars and driving to the Clara. They're another one of our partners. So the Clara Center in downtown has a really big parking lot and it's all gated around. So we're going to be going there. The Brazilian Cultural Center is there at the Clara. They're going to be providing food service at that event. We're going to have an MC. We're going to have Paul Willis is going to be showing his film he just showed recently with Maya on the TV I saw. That is called, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Wonderland.
Yeah. And we'll have Ngaio Bellum is going to be the MC. Burley is going to be out there slinging sodas. Seasons Coffee is also there at the Clara and it's going to be involved in some of our stuff. So yeah, it's one of those events that there are so many aspects of it. It's difficult to squeeze into even the full 5 minutes. And I know we're running a little over time here. So just go to creativeconsac.org. It's got where you can register. Registration is, we have scholarship registration available for people who can't afford it. Just shoot us an email and we'll send you in, no questions asked. But then it's $20 suggested donations. And if you want to give more to try to cover some of those scholarships, you can. And then the event, the car hop event that's happening, the drive-in event, that's going to be limited to however many parking spaces we can fit in. Right now we have 19 spaces left. Those are $20 a space. Well, they were, my chair just decided to rebel against me. So the parking spaces are $20 each to pre-register for those. You can pre-order food, merch and all that kind of stuff tonight at midnight. The pre-orders will on the website.
I forgot to put up the website. So here's the website.
No, yeah, that's it. We're going to be selling t-shirts and stickers and totes, and we're gonna be, the other big thing that I guess I should mention before I let you guys go is that we're doing a virtual booth convention floor during the whole weekend. So there will be like a lot of live streamed things that are happening throughout the weekend that are scheduled, but there's also kind of a virtual, it's like an exclusive directory for the convention goers to be able to kind of check out. Just like if you were walking around a convention floor and you walk up to somebody's booth, what does it look like? You know, what are they offering? What are they showing? What we're doing is providing a space that's kind of like a virtual booth floor where registrants will go through, click on your photo. It goes through to a URL that you provide to us, and it could be anything. It could be a Twitch stream. It could be a live stream YouTube. It could be your store. It could be a custom website that you're updating constantly all weekend and have, you know, just let your imagination fly. But it could also just be a little virtual downloadable, what do you call it, coupon code or something like that. You know, you never, it really, there's no limits on it.
Cool. So
and then,
really, it's a lot of, you have like a virtual booth, right?
Yeah, virtual booth. Yeah, it's like a convention booth, but it's just virtual, and you can man it all weekend long if you want. You can throw up there some information saying, hey, we're going to do a live stream at this time on this on Sunday or whatever. But yeah, it's just, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but it can. And any of the registrants, if you register to go, well, we already had 100 of them. We gave away booth space, and so now there's time to add more to that. And the booths, yeah, the booths are registered. Laura's like shooting information from across the room. She's been working hard. She's just constantly working on the website and the design and getting in contact with people. This is what we do. We do big, crazy cross-collab projects that are a mess. But
that
they're
is
really
wonderful. We need messes.
Yeah.
We need messes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. So Creative Con is happening. Make sure you get it. So I shared on the chat the link to go to it. Kip did mention that there was some kind of potential security risk ahead, so you might want to look at some kind of safety kind of thing. Maybe it just needs an SSL. And if you need help with that, just let me know. Okay, so I'm moving on because I know we don't have time and I want to keep things moving along. And I am going to stop my share because I think Donald is here. And Donald, do you want to share with us Donald is looking for artists to paint murals. He's looking for artists and he's paying. This is a paid gig for artists and for assistants and for all kinds of stuff. So thank you, City of Sacramento, for providing opportunities, paid opportunities for creatives. Thank you. Take it away, Donald.
Absolutely. Hey, Shira, thanks for inviting me here, and thanks everybody. So Shira just asked me, I'm going to kind of keep to this 5-minute thing as Shira and I discussed. This would be just a kind of a teaser. Because we have a question and answer session coming up on Monday, the 22nd. So I'm going to do a quick screen share just to share with you guys just the first page of this presentation. Shira, can you see that?
Yes.
Awesome. So it's Community Murals Sacramento. This is something that has been something I've been kind of working on for a few years now to see if we could get something like this to happen here. And in 2019, City Council approved funding for this program. And it fits into our Creative Edge plan. So our cultural plan, which many of you probably helped form that. And goal 5 is to infuse neighborhoods and communities with art and culture. And so that's kind of one of the main goals here for Community Murals Sacramento. I would distinguish community murals from other types of murals like wide open walls or a separate commission that you might do, because community murals really are about collaboration. And collaboration really means that there's the input from the artist, and then there's an input from the stakeholders that might be a group or organization. And it really is important that both of those groups are working together. The artist and the stakeholders are working together kind of as partners. So that the community doesn't just say, we want this, we want this, we want this, and we want blue. And the artist doesn't say, you know, this is all I paint, take it or leave it. So, but they find some kind of compromise together. And I think ultimately the hope is that we can find a way to kind of, you know, talk about neighborhood identity, talk about issues that are important to our many diverse, interesting communities within Sacramento. So the program is set up so that we will have one mural project in each district. We're looking like we may have a couple in some districts, so stay tuned. But the cool thing is there'll be one lead artist pretty much for each project. That lead artist will be able to have 3 assistant artists working with him or her. And then there's 2 separate kind of at-large positions that are for the entire city. One is an engagement manager position, and the second is a supply manager position. Really, all the positions are meant for artists. They're all paid positions. And you can come to the talk on Monday, the 22nd. I put in the chat the link to our website, which really, I think, comprehensively lays out all the different aspects of the program, but also lays out specifically how you would sign up for that Eventbrite event on Monday, and then show up on a Zoom meeting similar to this. I'll be going through this presentation, and I really ultimately think this is just an opportunity, you know, for artists. If you're an artist, you've painted a lot of murals, this might be a great opportunity for you, not only to paint a mural, but to be part of this larger program, to help teach some of the other artists, to help learn from other artists, and be kind of in a camaraderie with your fellow artists here in Sacramento. That's part of really what this is all about, is not just a commission, but being part of this larger program. We're going to have some mentor artists that will be both from Sacramento, but also some people from outside of Sacramento that artists will learn from. We'll be having opportunities where artists, especially the lead artists, will be able to present their work. And then we'll have an opportunity where assistant artists can kind of do a pecha and present their work. So we'll see. We're just trying to find different ways to create, you know, an artist ecosystem. And that through that, specifically through mural making. So, you know, I'll just leave you with these 2 images, which I think really are quite profound. And one, Cesar Viveros, a friend of mine from Philadelphia, painted this mural on the side of a pharmacy. But it was really a community collaborative process. And Cesar is really a master at that. And then also Judy Baca here on the other side in a very famous wall called the Great Wall, where she recounts really sometimes the untold history of Los Angeles. And you can see Judy there teaching a number of young artists as a part of her community mural process. So I urge you all, if you're interested, please apply. The application is all done online on Submittable, and we'll also, like I said, have one more question and answer session coming up. I'll also put my contact information in the chat. Feel free to just either email or call me directly. So that's my 5 minutes, Shira, and I'll stop sharing if I can. If you guys have any questions, certainly I'm here, happy to share.
I got you. I got you.
Great, awesome.
I got you, Donald. Yeah, if you have questions, sorry, Donald, I kind of gave your information, a lot of the links that were on there. And this is the page that you guys can see, Art and Culture City of Sacramento. This is where you guys go. I shared this link. There's a link here to kind of sign up for a more in-depth of this project. I did also share how much is being paid. So, you know, there's an $8,000 for a lead artist, $3,000 for artist assistants, and there's like 24 positions available. Like, that's a lot.
But 34 in all. I mean, if you count all the positions, it's 34, 24 assistant artist positions. And I think the thing that's important is the money that's there, it's just the artist fee. So we're separating that out. We're going to buy all the paint. We're going to take care of the lifts and the scaffolding and all of that type of thing. So the money that's there is the fee. You know, and, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, if it's possible to have local business owners contribute, we'll do that. We'll get that back to the artists as well. So we're fluid in this, but we wanted to find a way to have artists be paid, but also have artists work together and collaborate, both with communities and with each other. So looking forward to a lot of you all being part of that. I know a lot of folks here have already kind of attended some of the earlier sessions. So cool. Yeah, I think that's it. And I guess the last thing I want to say is, you know, community murals are already happening in Sacramento. And this is really just, you know, and they have happened historically here, but this is an opportunity for the city to say, hey, yeah, we're just setting up something. We have some dollars, we have some money to put towards this. We care about this. This is something that's important. And yeah, I hope you all join us.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you so much. Ed, what's up? Ed was asking, what's the deadline again? I don't know if you mentioned the deadline.
Deadline is April 5th. Monday, April 5th. So, and it's like 11:59 p.m. Okay. So,
cool.
Pacific time.
I think we're losing you, Donald. Either it's me or you.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. I just
said,
I think it's my Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi. Either way, we were
okay. Yeah, I was just going to say April 5th, 11:59 p.m. So get your applications in early. If you have questions, please give me a call or shoot me an email and come join us on Monday, the 22nd, 5:30 p.m.
Sweet. Okay, I'm moving on to Barbara. Barbara Range is from the Brick House, but she is coming with an awesome project. With the Crocker. There's a call for artists for the Crocker. Yay!
Hi.
So Barbara, please take the stage.
All right. Wow, there's some really awesome projects coming. My goodness, really excited about that. So what I am talking about is an art exhibit that's going to be coming to the Crocker Art Museum. It will be going for 3 months starting August 2021 into October of 2021. This is a project that was founded by Joan Marie out of an organization called the Sacramento Congressional Women. And the project was to really be able to promote art and activism all together, by also too coming through with a compassionate component out of this. And the compassionate component out of this happens to be some peace poles that we're bringing to the exhibit itself, as well as the art call it is that we're asking for artists to participate in. The piece for, let me get it right because I keep, you know, it's like if I say it like 4 times, I get it all tangled up.
All good. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the sheet that you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a peace pole project, and the peace pole project itself is really centering around the 4 categories it is that you see there on the art call itself, as well as bringing in the social activism part of it. And we're hoping to be able to have one pole that is really exhibiting the social justice of Black Lives Matter and geared around AB 392 with the I Am SAC Foundation of the Stephon Clark family. And just to give you an idea, the Peace Pole project itself, you can definitely be able to check it out. There's Compassionate Arts. Kyra Costner is going to be one of the lead artists in this. And what we're hoping to come out of this project as well, through some of the art calls it is that we're artists that we're asking to participate. We're hoping that we're going to be able to create a program where we will certify up to 8 to 10 artists, and those 8 to 10 artists would be paid positions, but they would be able to go out and teach and train other artists and community on how to create these peace poles it is that we're talking about here. We're hoping that we can, that people present today will be able to share our artist call. It is that we have there, and I think we extended the deadline on that to, I think it was April 30th.
April 30th. I think you've got here April 30th.
April 30th that we extended the deadline on this. So this is all new. This is really like all coming together for us. The Crocker for the art exhibition itself, that is already confirmed. So it is really about us being able to gather the artists. This will be on-site exhibitions as well as virtual exhibitions. And then it's going to cover all of the platforms, you know, of art, everything from music to theater to poetry that we want to have that will encompass the theme it is that we have activism through the arts. I think I added, I'm sorry, go on, Shara.
Oh, Barbara, this is awesome. I just have a question.
Sure.
I'm looking at the link where it says how submit a preview and the submission link. And
Yes.
the link is pretty long, and then it gets into this here, this. I'm not sure if there's two different Y's or some kind
I will get with our graphics designer who did this.
Okay. So
Yeah, and then
I
I can send the update to you, Shara, so that you can send out to everyone.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the link to send people, because I think you shared some links here, so
Yes.
you can share the link on the chat, and then I can share that, and we'll post it when we post the archive of this video. We can have that next to it. So.
Okay. And so this is it's a big project for us. There's besides myself, there's 12 other women that are involved in helping to bring this project to the Crocker Museum and to Sacramento. So with a huge event happening on September 21st, the Day of Peace at the Crocker Museum. So we're hoping that we'll have a great turnout and that we'll get quite a few of the Sacramento art community to participate as well.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Barbara. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Thank you for sharing. I love that there's so much going on in Sacramento, and it's just good. Teresa, would you like to share about your project that you have in Natomas, which is a call for artists to paint on at your Art and Garden Center?
I would absolutely love to do that. Thank you for having us. So I'm Teresa. I'm with the Natomas Garden and Arts Club, and let me just click the button here. So, I've got a link to our event. I listed it in the chat. What I would like to do is I'm going to just read really quickly that this is our debut art show. This will be a means to demonstrate to the community that the location of this debut art show is going to be the perfect place in Natomas for a permanent garden center and arts gallery. The space that we have is the former fire station, number 15. It's located at 1591 Newborough Drive, right off of Truxell. And this art show will be attached to the exterior of the building. The Garden Club will be supplying the artists with 4x4 panels. We're going to be using either plywood or coroplast. What is happening is the building is vacant. and it's been vacant for years. So security measures have been made that are ugly. And we are an arts and garden club, and we would like our prospective garden and arts gallery to be beautiful. So we're calling out to artists and saying, would you like to participate? Our installation date is May 1st. We're thinking we would like to keep it up maybe through the summer and have a live event as well. My email address and the garden club and arts club link is on the details of our event. What I really like to say is this is a teeny tiny little event. We're a teeny tiny little club, and we're reaching out to the artists in the community to say, we are here, and we would like everyone to know that artists are here in the community, and they want a place to permanently be able to show and to share and to express our creativity. So I think that that's really all that I have to say. Please go to our website, have a look at, and there's our little building. Can you just see those two red bays opened up with a gallery inside? We're going to have space for gardens on the property, but so the art show will be attached over these existing ugly plywood panels. So we're reaching out to you to say, we know that you can do better than ugly plywood.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Hopefully this helped. I just did a Google, kind of put my little yellow person on there. So just so people can get, because I'm very visual. If I don't see it, it's like I can't remember it. And
it's a lovely little drive-by place where the artwork will be seen. It's going to be protected by that chain link fence, and we're hoping people would be excited to join us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I heard that you guys are looking to get stipends for the artists too. So thank you.
We have fingers in many pots, and we are really looking to have this be a collaboration between small businesses and artists and communities like the nonprofit that we are and the others that are in our neighborhoods.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you, Shira.
So I'm going to look at the Q&As right now. And just FYI, I am drinking kombucha. I just like to drink out of wine glasses. I drink everything out of wine glasses. And I want to say thank you to Casey Kombucha. Brewed in Oak Park, Sacramento. Dope. Questions. Teresa, can we take a look at the WX Mural Museum? I don't know what that is. Does somebody here know what that is? That might be before my time or something. Anybody?
So that's an art project. Is Maya still here?
Yes.
It's an art project from an art collaborative out of the Fruit Ridge area. Maya?
I'm still here, but I'm in a bar now and it's noisy. So let me go outside.
I can, Kira, I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Barbara. Barbara's right. It's an art project. It's Marcos and Teresa, the Artners group, have kind of put together a proposal to do a series of murals in the underpass at the W, like between W and X.
Okay, cool.
And so I think their concept, their vision is to have a whole series of murals on each of those pillars, and that each pillar would be a different mural, and then it becomes a kind of urban art gallery.
I love it. That's so cool. Where's that standing? Where's that project standing?
the biggest hangup has really been Caltrans, unfortunately. That is Caltrans property. And Marcus and Teresa, reached out to us, and we, researched it. And unfortunately, as it stands right now, Caltrans is really keeping artists from doing projects all over California. So if any of you have any connections with Caltrans, please reach out to me. Art in transit projects would be terrific to be happening in California, and it's unfortunate they are requiring artists to turn over their copyright as a component of that, and the city can't support that. So, but there's other things in there also that I think are unnecessary, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to speak bad at Caltrans. I'm just trying to say that I think we could look to other ways of that they could protect themselves from liability and also support our local arts community. So, I applaud Marcos and Teresa for being very passionate about their project, and I hope it can work out at some point. But until Caltrans changes its policies, we're just not going to be able to, probably won't see anything happen there.
Okay. Oh, that's sad. Okay. Well, we'll keep on that one. Thank you. Ed, I think we got this. Is this on Facebook? It's not yet on Facebook. Once we have the recording, I'll put it on Facebook. And then Jolene is asking, are they still looking for muralists for that underpass project? I think so. I would contact Teresa. Teresa, if you want to share your information on the chat so Jolene can contact with you, that would be awesome. Well, I think that's about it. Does anybody else have any other questions? We're only 6 minutes over. No way. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined here, all the people that spoke, all the people that were here sharing, and thank you for like all the creatives that were here. And this is a place to put in, if there's a concern that you're saying that you feel like that hasn't been addressed, like you're saying, hey, this has been overlooked, or this is where you put it in the chat. So I'm going to let everybody go. But if you have something lastly that you want to put in, I think there's an option for you to do it anonymously. But if you mark it anonymously, I will kind of put it up as anonymously later. So if you want to share something, my email is shira@atrium916.com. You can reach out to me. I am here for you. However I can, in whatever capacity I can, and loads of love to you, and have a wonderful night. Thank you, everybody. So good night, y'all. Bye. Bye. I'll just do this. I'll just dance as we go. You're the last one, Cody. You're the last one.
I'm the only one here. I forgot to mention that you guys were going to be one of our stops on the
That's okay.
thing. There's so many things going on at Creative Con, but it's all good.
There's so many things going on, and it's just wonderful that there is so many things going on, and that I think it's just wonderful that the community is coming, like the community is kind of coming together, and like everybody's being supportive and helpful. It's, excuse my French, pretty fucking dope. So I think it's awesome.
Me too. All right. See ya.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Oh, who do we contact for the mural on the underpass? Teresa from Artners. Teresa from Artners. So, yes, Ashley, I think it's Teresa from Artners, and I'm getting text messages, I think. Oh, yeah. Any other questions? I've got 12 more people here. I'm going to kind of stay here until you guys feel like you're done. Artners, yes, Artners. Teresa from Artners. Let me see if I can get her. This is her name. And yeah, contact for Natomas. Let me get you. Here is the link for the PDF for Natomas. Oh, thank you, Teresa. That is the link for the document that went out for the Natomas project. Is there anything else? Oh, another one, anonymous attendee. Oh, thank you. I'm disturbed that largely people of color spoke about racial equity as a diverse city, we shouldn't have such a divide on perspectives. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please let me know how I can do better. I want to, yeah. Because racial equity is really important. We shouldn't have a divide on race. Yeah. Thank you for writing that. Appreciate that. And let me know. You can email me, contact me. I'm at 1020 Front Street. Reach out. I try to be here as much as possible. Thank you so much, guys. If there's anything else, I'm gonna go. Good night. Have a lovely night and loads of love. Okay. Bye, y'all. Thank you. Bye, Dawn.